Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at the 2019 New York Auto Show, walking around, and of course, we're gonna stop at the Subaru booth. Very, very excited with this car. This car, the 2020 Subaru Legacy XT was unveiled at the Chicago Auto Show back in February. Kind of missed that one, but we're here at the New York Auto Show, and we're definitely gonna dive into this all-new 2020 Legacy. And the exciting thing is the return of the turbocharger, that XT turbocharged engine, 260 horsepower out of that flat 4 turbocharged engine. But let's talk a little bit about Subaru history. So Subaru has been around here in the United States since 1968. And here's a little fun fact for you. It was actually done by a gentleman by the name of Malcolm Bricklin. He was a Canadian that helped bring Subaru to North America. Since 1968, things have just grown and grown and grown for Subaru. And some of the things that really hold true to this day is that all-wheel drive performance, those flat 4 boxer engines, and of course, now they really are just so associated with families, dogs, and safety overall. So let's go ahead and take a look at this totally redesigned 2020 Subaru Legacy XT. The Legacy's been around since 1991 here in the United States. Let's go ahead, we're gonna start at the front end of the business. So coming to the front, you can see this car sits on the global chassis. So just like the Crosstrek, just like the Ascent, all the new vehicles, the Impreza, are going to that global platform. Now the Subaru Legacy is. So you can see the restyle with the headlights, those LED DRLs around both of the headlights. I like what Subaru is doing with the front of the car. They really have polished it up. You have a very, very nice style grille, little bit of shiny chrome, and a nice flat black texture that I think is good to see because it's gonna wear very well over time. As we go down, we have a larger area down here, also flat black. I'm glad to see that it mimics top to bottom, that they didn't use different materials. Also on the Legacy, we have a forward-facing camera. These are pieces of technology that Subaru is saying, hey, we need to have them in our cars as well. Now, one thing I would have liked to have seen, this being the XT, is I would like to see a little bit different lower fascia here, something with maybe a lower lip spoiler to just give a little distinctive look, make it a little bit more sporty. Because remember, 260 horsepower, all-wheel drive, that sounds like fun to me. Just a little bit extra flair. But other than that, I really like the direction. As we go up onto the hood, we have some very nice body lines that start right at the front, near the front fascia, and kind of just blend in ever so slightly. And I think that's the thing about Subaru is it's not about these crazy in-your-face designs. They're designs that if you look closely, you can see the details and you're gonna be happier overall. Let's go ahead and come down this side. So as we come around from that LED lighting, you can see a very nice style wheel. I like the brushed aluminum. They're a little on the bland side, but you know what? That's one of those things that with Subaru, it's like, they don't go super, super aggressive. Now, when we talk aggressive and we look at the S209, you can see what magic they're doing, but still very tasteful. And I think that they're trying to fit a wide variety of fans with this Subaru Legacy, but just very nicely styled wheel overall, 18-inch wheel, and it gets the job done. Let's go ahead and continue down the side. Really like some of these touches. Now, with this Legacy, not so much on the outside, but once we get inside, you're gonna see some materials that just will blow your mind. Very nice aluminum treatment on the mirrors. You got the LED lighting in there. I really like how they pulled it off because normally if you go shiny and you go flat, it kind of doesn't match, but it's really working. As we continue down the side of the car, you can see how we have some just nice chrome silver trim. And then as we drop down this lower sill, I like the way it just comes out a little bit. And I'm glad that they did not take any of this chrome and run it down here. I think that would have been too much. So it was just tasteful placement of certain materials make this a very nice cohesive package. Let's continue down the side. Remember, in a segment of the industry that mid-size sedan, you know, everybody's focusing on SUVs, and they're definitely got some SUVs here at Subaru, especially with the new Outback that's going to be unveiled very soon today, so stay tuned for that. But it's nice to see that they're still keeping the variety because the Legacy really is just one of those iconic cars in their lineup. Let's continue to the back. Really nice touch with the blacked out look, comes wrap around the side, and I really think that Subaru has done a good job with their taillight design. If you look at some of the other manufacturers, it doesn't work very well. It kind of gets a little clunky, but I really like this very sharp style design. You can see down here that Legacy badging. This is the Touring, so this is the fully loaded XT. That's that turbocharged engine, which we're going to check out very soon. Very tasteful. I mean, this looks really good. This rear diffuser area. You have dual exhaust, and then of course that symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Going to make sure it's going to keep you safe and get you going. Speaking of going, let's go check out that engine underneath the hood. All right, guys, time to check out underneath the hood of the 2020 Legacy. You get choices. Now with the XT, if you're checking that one off, this is what you get. That's a 2.4 liter flat 4 engine, turbocharged. So what we're looking at out of that 2.4 is 260 horsepower. Now it is connected to a CVT transmission, but guess what? Subaru swears and promises that it's been, you know, it's been torqued perfect for this setup. So everything with the electronics and whatnot has been changed up for the XT. MPGs, 34 in the city, 32 in the highway. Now you can get this non-XT without the turbo. That's a 2.5 liter, the base engine, 182 horsepower. Now remember, because this sits on the global platform, you're looking at a chassis that's 13% more rigid. That's going to allow you to have a nice driving feel. And that's the wonderful thing, is that they have great SUVs, but one thing with a sedan is that the center of gravity is lower. That's actually going to drive a lot better. Now, looking at this engine, what I love about the Subaru engines, not a bunch of plastic. You can see the top mount intercooler here, because remember, it's turbocharged. We need that intercooler to help generate that 260 horsepower, and overall very clean. The one thing that I'm going to zonk, if I'm going to zonk underneath here, is that hood prop. I do not like that hood prop. It really, I wish they had the struts, especially on the Legacy XT. But let's go ahead. We talked about the outside. We talked about underneath the hood. Let's go check out that interior. All right, guys, we're inside the new 2020 Legacy. I'm telling you, if you haven't been in a Subaru lately, you need to get your butt down to your local dealer when these hit the lots, because they have raised the bar. And I know this is the XT Touring, the fully loaded, but hey, go big or go home, right? I mean, look at this setup. Let's go ahead and check out the door panels. I love what they're doing with the breakup of the colors. So you have this nice, almost like camel brown leather everywhere on that door panel, soft touch. I really like around the window controls how it has a little bit of silver trim, but it's flat black. I know you guys hate the gloss black around the controls because it gives you fingerprints. Nice little splash of silver, and then other than that, I think the lower portion of the door panel is perfect because it's going to wear very nicely. We don't need any glitz and glam down there, and there's a nice area for your drink. As we transition from the door panel to the dash, look at this. I just want to lay down on this dash. Very nice material. Love the contrast stitching. Little bit of gloss black in this little cubby area, so that's kind of nice. You can put your phone in there, but the gloss black, I think you're going to be okay. If you don't want fingerprints, here's what my mom used to say: if you don't want fingerprints, don't touch it, and then you don't have to worry about fingerprints. As we transition though, here's the crescendo. This is the climax. That's 11.7-inch infotainment screen, vertical setup. I'm sitting in a Subaru. Let me remind you, I'm going to pinch myself. Okay, I'm not dreaming. I'm sitting in a Subaru and I have an infotainment system set up like that. Love the silver, love the way the leather comes around. You got a nice little cubby down here with 2 USBs, aux cord. This has an electric e-brake, which is fine. We don't need to be doing any old-fashioned manual e-brake maneuvers. This is going to be controlling that CVT transmission. I like the leather, I like the contrast stitching. Just a splash of gloss and that's fine. 2 really nice sized cup holders, more the silver trim, but you see how it looks like a finished product. This is where I think some other manufacturers are not hitting the marks. Wonderful armrest, great height. I love the softness of it. You open up that bad boy, you got a nice little tray, and then the tray opens up, and you got a wonderful cubby in here with 12 volts. CD player. If you got your old CDs back from the 90s, take them out because this one has a CD player, and I like the way they hid it in here. Why have it up there and muddy everything up? And then these seats. You ever heard of Napa? Yeah, exactly. This is Napa leather, soft to the touch, ventilated, heated. Love the perforated. I love the design built into the seats. Comfortable. I feel like my mother is holding me just like when I was born. That's how comfortable it feels. Sunroof. It's not a panoramic. It's okay. I'm going to deal with it. It would be nice if it was panoramic, but you know what? 6 feet tall, still plenty of room. why don't you come on over to the business end and I'll show you what's happening behind the wheel of this Legacy XT. All right guys, business end, you can see with the Legacy XT, the Touring, you get full 8-position seat. Wonderful. Love the way the seats feel. So soft. So soft. If you don't have a puppy, get a Legacy XT and you can touch this, because I'm telling you, it's so soft. Steering wheel, I love the size, I love the thickness, very simple and easy to understand controls. And then when you bring it around, you can see how we have leather touches, and then simple dash. We don't need a lot of complexity. Analog tach, analog speedometer, and a nice little LED info screen in there to let you know the doors are open. That's going to show your range. You could toggle through all those different settings. Now this does have paddles on the back of the steering wheel. Yes, you're probably wondering, well Joe, this is a CVT, there's no actual gears. It's all simulated shifting to make you feel like you're going through a gearbox. I wish they would just do regular automatics. But like I said, Subaru swears up and down that this one is specially tuned for the XT. Let's go ahead and see how enjoyable it will be in an XT for your passengers. Let's check out the backseat. All right guys, backseat time of the 2020 Legacy. You know what? It feels good. 6-foot Joe feels comfortable back here. Plenty of headroom. What they did was they kind of took the headliner and kind of dug a little slot out for your head, which is great. That wonderful leather. I'm going to have Lori come in and show you the command center back here. We have 2 air-conditioned rear AC vents. You have heated seats in the back, and then voila, 2 USBs. You know, there's so many manufacturers cheaping out and just giving us 1 USB or none. This one has 2. And then, are you ready for this one? We have this armrest. Very nice size, soft as a baby's butt. You could quote me on that. And then we also have 2 cup holders plus 2 on the door. So you could have 4 drinks and fit 2 people back here, no problem. Another nice touch before we leave and check out that trunk is I like the way they wrapped it in leather. Nice pouch, and I like the way it's black because you know and I know your kids have sticky fingers and hands and knees and feet and everything else that's sticky on them. This will wear better, and it'll hide a lot of that stickiness that goes from their hands onto the seat. Speaking of sticky, let's go check out the trunk. All right guys, one of the most important parts of any vehicle, what type of junk can we put in the trunk? Now I know a lot of you are saying, well I want an SUV because I want that space, but you know what? With the 2020 Legacy, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Look at the opening, very, very smart. Some of these sedans, you open up the trunk and you can't even fit a toothpick back here. I love the way they've widened out the back. That's going to allow you to go and get that 70-inch TV. Your wife finally said, yes, you could get that 70-inch TV. You could fit the 70-inch TV in here. Those seats are going to do the 60-40 tango, so you could actually go all the way through. Love the space. One thing, if I'm going to zonk it, is I wish there was like a 12-volt in here, a nice 12-volt power source. Maybe I'm at the beach, maybe my kids want a raft inflated. I don't want to use my lungs. I'm running out of air. So we need a nice 12-volt back here. I think that would be a big dividend. My other big zonk for the car, and I'm going to go back to the beginning, are the wheels. I've changed my mind. I want those wheels to be nicer, especially on the XT. Something with a little spice, a little flavor. But as you can see, they've done a great job taking the Legacy up to the next level. I'm glad to see that it's still in the lineup. If these are the types of vehicles that you like to see on Rady's Rides, definitely leave a comment in that comment section. If you look over here, there's something very special lurking behind the cover, which we're going to be bringing very shortly. That's going to be the 2020 Outback. So stay tuned for that. If you are new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it'll be worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. Check out all my different forms of social media. You know what they are. It's all Rady's Rides original content all the time. If you want some merch, click the link in the description. It takes you right to Spreadshirt. And then we got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori. She was outside in 40-degree weather, practicing some yoga moves. She was lifting some weights to make sure that she could hold this camera like a champ. So thank you, Lori, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.